everybody. We're doing our Primal Bodyweight today, the restorative version of this class we've been going with for the last couple weeks, or couple months, really, a few weeks. Today we're going to focus on feet, calves, hip, and then a little bit of trunk rotations, kind of working here up and doing a lot of twisting kind of movement. We're going to start today with using our own hands to massage out our feet. We've done this in the past, so it's a nice time to revisit that. The feet and the hips are really connected, so it's a good idea to work your feet when you work your hips. So we're going to start. You can sit any way that's comfortable to you, that we can get one foot into our lap. What we're going to start with is if you pull your big toe back and feel the bottom of your foot, you're going to feel this thick piece of fascia. That's your plantar fascia. And we're going to start, I like to make a fist with my other hand, and I'm going to start to scrub up and down with that plantar fascia, giving it a nice massage, and take a check-in with how the texture of that foot is feeling, how the plantar fascia is feeling. Does it feel crunchy, soft, supple, sore? What are we feeling in that foot? And keep scrubbing up and down that plantar fascia. We're also working on getting it nice and warm as we're doing this, and that friction and warmth is going to help move things around as we're working this. Let's start to scrub now back and forth instead of up and down on the plantar fascia, back and forth across the bottom of that foot on the plantar fascia and on the sides. And at this point, we can start to use our thumbs and both scrubbing and pulling on that plantar fascia, seeing if we can just work a little more suppleness into the base of the foot. And then we're going to take both of our thumbs up to the middle of the ball of the foot and squeeze into that middle piece there. You might find that you have a tender area within that ball of the foot. It's pretty common. And we're also going to curve the foot and try to roll it up like a little burrito, getting good movement out of all those knuckle joints. Let's take it up to the toes, starting with the little toe, and massage all around the little toe, and almost like you're trying to clean the meat off the bone. Pull on that little toe, squeezing it as you do so, all the way down to the top. And then we'll go to the next toe over, squeezing. I'm going to get in the middle, the sides of the toe, pull the meat right off the bone, and move to the next foot, rolling, squeezing, and pulling. Keep going along the toes one by one until we get to that big toe, and giving that one a nice massage, and also pulling it back for a big stretch. Stretching that big toe, pulling it back. With our hands now, let's weave our fingers in between each toe. So you're using your fingers as toe spacers. And see if you can get all the way up in there so it's like you're holding hands with your foot. And squeeze the toes together and then stretch them apart. How does that feel? Is it uncomfortable for your toes? It might be. If we don't do this a lot, start to work the toes in a circle. And then finally squeeze your fingers together and pull until we finally pull our fingers out from our toes. And give the foot a nice rub, top and bottom. Finish it off the top of the skin of the foot. And we'll be moving to the other foot now, switching sides. You can put that foot down and switch over. We're going to start again with that plantar fascia. Crank the foot back, crank the big toe back so you can feel on the bottom of the foot that plantar fascia, and then use the knuckles, just like on the other side, to start to scrub up and down, warming it up, giving it friction. We're also checking in with the texture and feeling sensations on the bottom of the foot there on that plantar fascia. Very thick, important piece of fascia that ties in my hamstrings and the hips as well, and your glutes. We'll do our side-to-side scrub on the bottom of the foot, across the plantar fascia, up and down, side to side, through the whole bottom of the foot, scrubbing. And then we can take the thumbs in, start to work the foot, and work our way up to both thumbs in the pit of the ball of the foot, right in the middle of the ball of the foot, pushing down into that, and then also squeezing and curving your toes around, rolling them up, little foot burrito. And then starting at the little toes, massaging the toe and pulling like we're trying to pull the meat off the bone, really giving it a good awakening kind of massage, right? Your foot will certainly be awake after this. Each toe, working our way up. And finally finding ourselves at the big toe. Give it a massage as well. And then also pulling that big toe back. And take our fingers, weave it in between. So we're holding hands with our toes. See if you can squeeze your fingers with your toes. Spread your toes, get those fingers in there a little bit deeper. And take those toes in a little bit of movement in circles. Moving around all those little knuckles and joints. And then finally squeeze your fingers together. And you're going to start to pull them out as you squeeze until finally they pop out. And then we're going to give the foot a nice massage, top and bottom. And we'll do this on the other side as well, but before we switch back, you're going to cup your heel in one hand and your toes in the other. You're going to pull your toes toward your face and push your heel away. It's like you're trying to wring water out of a wet rag. You want that foot to get a good twist, and then twist it up the other way, a little twist and then untwist. And you should feel how the foot almost rolls up into a smaller roll, rolls into a roll, and then when you unwind, it splays open and becomes wide. And let's do this on the other side now. Give it a quick warm up again, just since it's been sitting there, and then pull the toes towards the face, push the heel away, twist that rag, get all the water out, and then untwist. And feel that spiral structure of the foot, how that works. Ooh, I got a good knuckle pop, nice. And now, we're going to come up to standing to do a little bit more foot stretching, and you can use a wall if you have one. And we're going to put our foot underneath, so we're rolling the top of the foot, stretching those toes under. And then also we're going to stretch the toes back, pushing the other way. You're going to roll it under and push those toes back. And take the heel of the other foot and you're going to pull down the skin, almost like you're trying to pull that skin off. You might feel like a burning sensation from the top of the foot all the way down to the top of the toes and off. You're trying to scrape something off the top of your foot. And just watch how alive that foot becomes, all the blood rushing back in there. You're waking up those feet. Give that foot one more roll. Give it a nice stretch. And then plant the big toe. Take the ankle in some circles. And then switching direction. And let's work the other foot now. So stretching, another pop. Stretching the top of the foot. And stretching the toes back. And forward and back. let's take the top of the foot using the other heel and pull that skin down. It's all right if it feels like it's gonna tear. It's not. You're not gonna pull your skin off. Might be an extreme sensation, but just remind your nervous system that you're safe and this is okay, and you'll be able to tolerate it better next time, and even better the next. Down each toe, and let's give it another stretch, forward, back, especially the top of the foot, and then plant that big toe and take the ankle in some circles. And then switch your circle, go back the other way. And we'll take it to our mat. We're gonna come back down, but pay attention to how we're coming down. We wanna be crossing our legs. We're gonna start working up to the calves here. So one leg is laid down. I'm gonna cross the other one over so that I can use that shin bone there as a way to use to massage that calf. And we're gonna start down at the ankle at the Achilles tendon, and I want you to saw back and forth with your shin, just giving it a nice scrub, a nice little wake up. We're gonna work our way sawing back and forth to the top of the calf, right in the back of the knee there. And then let's just do a nice sweep, pulling it all the way down, and then we're gonna pull all the way up. And again, all the way down, and all the way up. One more sweep down, and up. If you found a particularly sore area, let's hold the shin on that spot. Sit back, add a little bit more pressure to that. And just breathe, see if we can let that knot relax a little bit, respond to the pressure. Come off, give it a little, nice little reward. Let's uncross our legs now and cross the other way. Start to work the other calf. Again, starting at the Achilles tendon, the back of the ankle, and we're gonna saw back and forth, scrubbing and inspecting how our calf feels. Back and forth, sawing until we get up to the top of the calf. Ooh, I got a good knot in there. Into the back of the knee, and then scrub. Sweep that shin down, all the way pulling down, and then we're going to pull it back up and down. And one more, up and down to the bottom. And now we're going to work finding whatever spot was a good tender one. There's one, holding on it with the shin, sitting back onto that spot, adding some pressure. Take a nice deep breath and give it a nice reward, smooth it out there. All right. Now that we've rolled out both of our calves and our feet, should feel pretty nice in our hamstrings here. We're gonna work the trunk just a little bit. Coming onto your side, you're gonna lay all the way down, take that top leg up in front, and hook the knee with your lower arm. So the one that's on the ground here is holding that knee onto the floor. We're gonna reach our arm forward, and then start to circle that arm until we get to the ear. Turn the palm up and continue to circle that arm on the floor all the way down to your butt. And then we're gonna open back up. When we get up to the ear, the palm's gonna turn down again and circle back to where we started. We're gonna do nice 5 big opening up, circling the hand down to the butt and back. 3 more, opening myself a little more room here. Don't know why I'm making it hard on myself. And closing. Last two, big inhale. And exhale, one more. And then we're gonna open up and stay here in this open book. And if you can kick up that back foot and hold it comfortably with your hand without readjusting, I'm just gonna hold this pretzel for a nice deep breath. In through the nose, out through the mouth. And you can release that foot. We're gonna roll that arm back around. We're gonna turn over and do the other side now with that open book sequence. You're gonna start down on the ground, laying on your side, have that top leg bent with your lower arm hooking the knee. Reach your arm on top in front of you, and we're gonna inhale. Trace a big circle, opening up, palm up as you're behind, and then palm down as you're in front with your hand. You're gonna do 5 again. Inhale as you open up, exhale. Last 3. And 2 more. And 1 more. Remember, we're gonna stay in this open book. If you can, kick up that foot, that free foot, and hold your little pretzel. If not, just hold the shoulder there. And we're gonna take a few deep breaths. Inhaling through the nose. Exhaling through the mouth. Just see if you can melt into this pose a little bit more. And then finally, you can release the foot. We're going to spiral back around with our hands and push ourselves up into quadruped. Begin some cat-cow, hands and knees. Hands are going to be underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. We're going to inhale, arch the spine, round the spine. Tuck your head, tuck your butt, and then we're going to exhale. This is arch. I always mix them up when I first say them. Inhale into cat. Exhale into cow. We're going to do 3 more. And last one. With that, we're going to dig in our toes, push up and back into a downward dog, stretch out the hamstrings. Take it into a 3-legged dog, into a low lunge. Make sure you've got a nice right angle on that forward leg. We're going to push back into a hamstring stretch. Keep the hips straight on, back as straight as possible. And soften the knee. Set your leg back into downward dog. We're going to do on the other side the same thing, 3-legged dog. Bring that leg forward into low lunge. Nice 90-degree angle in that front shin. And push back through your hamstring. Straight hips, straight back as possible. Soften that leg. Send it back into downward dog, keeping the legs straight. Tiptoe it in, step by step into a forward fold. Big toes together, little space at the heel. Inhale, hands to your shins, glance up with a flat back. Exhale, roll it down, and then roll yourself up, stacking your spine. Big circle overhead with your arms, take it back down. Hands to the mat. We're going to step back with just one foot into our low lunge. Nice right angle on the front leg, and again we're going to push back into our hamstring stretch, and this time we're going to take a series of rocking motions, pushing off your back toe, that big toe there. Keep your front leg straight as we rock. Back nice and straight as well. And then we're going to soften the knee, send it back into downward dog. And we're gonna take our other leg forward now into that low lunge. Push through the hamstring, straighten out the front leg, and we're gonna push off our back toe and rock. Keep those hips straight on. And soften the front knee, send the foot back into your downward dog. And with nice straight legs again, I'm gonna tiptoe up to the top of our mat, big toes together, forward fold, straight legs. Inhale, hands to your shins, glance up with a flat back. Exhale, roll down and roll up, stacking your spine, arms up overhead. Swan dive down, both hands to the floor, and take a big step back into that low lunge again. Nice straight hips, right angle in your front leg, and we're going to push back through our hamstring. And this time we can take that rock and we're going to see if we can lift our back foot up off the floor. The front leg straight. And finally, plant your back foot, soften the front leg, send it back into a downward dog. Take it to a three-legged dog to switch sides. Nice right angle in the front leg, hips are straight on. I'm gonna push back through my hamstring. Straighten out my front leg, and we're going to rock, seeing if I can lift up that back leg, keeping my front leg straight. And finally, plant the back foot, soften the front knee, send it back into a downward dog. And one last time, we're going to inchworm up to the top of the mat. Inhale, hands to the shins. Exhale, roll down, and inhale, roll up, stacking your spine, taking it back down, hands to the mat. Stretch out those hamstrings together. And one last time, rolling up. Stacking the spine. Now you may want, or you would definitely want, there we go, a wall for our next kind of stretch mobilization. But this is also something that you can use as a tool to help you assess your own ankle flexibility, calf flexibility. So using our wall, it doesn't have to be a sturdy wall, necessarily just something for you to be against, but it does have to be something that's straight up and down. Put your foot, whichever foot you'd like, facing straight into the wall with the big toe touching the wall. And you're gonna push, make sure your hips are facing the wall. You're gonna push your knee forward, tap the wall. After that, you're gonna bring it back, slide your foot back just a couple inches. And again, drive your knee forward, tap the wall. You wanna make sure your knee is coming in, not inside of your big toe, but just inside of your big toe there. Slide it back again, just another inch, and touch. You want to make sure you're keeping your heel on the ground of that foot. Another slide, touch. We're going to go back as far as we can go, keeping our foot flat on the ground. We don't want to lose the heel, and still able to touch the wall. I think that's my limit right there. And once you find that limit, we're going to switch sides. Big toe up against the wall, foot is nice and straight. Push the knee forward, tap the wall, slide it back an inch, tap and slide, tap and slide. We're checking our alignment, tap, slide, good. And that's my limit right there. So this gives us a couple things. This gives us, one, a tool to be able to compare left and right very easily, but also how much ankle dorsiflexion, which is what this is counting. Dorsiflexion is your ability to pull your toe up towards your face. This is plantar flexion, which is pointing your toe and flexing it. There you go, you can see my foot. Plantar flexion, dorsiflexion. So that's a little jargon for you. But if you can dorsiflex really well, so basically if you can get a really deep angle here, get very far away from the wall, you can squat well. So working our way up to the hip now, mobilized feet and ankles really well. Let's take it up to the hip. You want to use wall, chair, something to hang on to. We're going to go through a series of hip rotations. So hanging onto your wall for help. You're going to make sure core is nice and neutral. I'm not in an overextended or hunched position, so draw yourself really tall. And we're going to start by lifting up our knee into hip flexion here. This is flexing my hip as much as possible without rounding my spine or altering my spinal arrangement, my posture. And then I'm going to take that all the way out to the side, abduction. And then I'm going to be kicking my foot up as I swing my leg back. Again, I don't want anything to change in my abdominals or in my low back. And then finally I'm going to pull it all the way through back up into flexion. And I'm just putting a hand on my low back so I can feel that I'm maintaining a good neutral. We're going to take it through 2 more in this direction and then switch our direction. And then we'll do the other side. So keep your core tight. I want you to think about flexing every muscle you have in your body while you're doing these. And then, now that we've done 4, bring it up into flexion, and we're going to reverse, kicking it back. This is extension, over to the side, abduction, up into the hip flexion, and 2. And 3, back, around, up, last one, and very nice. Go ahead, shake out that other leg. We're going to switch sides now. Start with your braced core, flexion, take it out, abduction, and extension, bringing it up, flexion, out to the side, one more in this direction, flexion, abduction, extension, bring it up into flexion and then push it back, reverse, extension, abduction, flexion, keeping the core nice and braced. Two more. And last one. And you can shake out your legs, bring it down to resting. Come back to the top of your mat. We're going to inchworm, starting up with a big shoulder circle. Let the arms fall to the floor. Keep the legs nice and straight. Walk the hands out into a big plank. And from this plank, turn the feet onto their sides and open up into a generous side plank. Bring that arm back down. We're going to switch sides. Turn the feet to the other side. Opening up the arms, big stretch. Both hands down. And we're going to walk it up. Toes to hands. Take ourselves into a forward fold and then inhale, hands to the shins, glance up with our flat back. Exhale, roll down, roll up. Inhaling as you stack the spine. Big circle with the arms. Exhale, forward fold, hands to the floor. We're going to take this big step back into our low lunge. And this time, open up into our rotation from our low lunge. Drop down your back knee and your back foot. Continue to reach for your back foot. And if we've got the flexibility, lift up that foot and hold yourself in a nice pretzel here. Take a few deep breaths. You can always just reach for the hand. You don't need to hold the foot, but see if you can open your chest and exhale and sit a little deeper into your twist. And exhale, let go of that arm, let go of that foot, bring the hand back around. Push back into your downward dog. And we're gonna go for the other side, bringing the other leg forward into your low lunge. Open up into your rotation. Drop the back knee and the back foot. Continue to reach for your back foot. And if you can pick up that foot and hold it otherwise, just reach for the foot. Take a few deep breaths as we inhale. Try to open and expand your chest. See if you can exhale a little deeper into the twist. And release the foot. Bring that hand back around and take it up and back into your downward dog. Take your left hand, reach across for your right ankle. Bring it back and switch sides. You can keep both heels down on the ground, getting a good rotation through your upper back, upper spine. Switch and reach. I'm going to do 3 more each side. Nice reach and twist. Keeping the heels flat. And 1 more each side. Bring the hands down. We're going to plant the knees. Coming up into a full kneeling, and then we'll bring 1 foot forward, placing it right in front of the hip at a 90-degree angle for a half kneeling. And lower that back foot down to the floor. Push that whole leg down in there for more stability. You're going to open up that front hip flexor a little bit more. Squeeze the butt. From here, reach your arms out in front. And we're going to turn and twist into our forward leg. You're just going to go back and forth like a little metronome from forward to the side. Just trying to get a good twist. Back and forth. A couple more. And then reaching forward, we're going to bring the arms up, facing each other, palms together. And reach up and over. Stretching your hands long. We're turning into that forward leg. And bring it back down. Bring that knee back as well. And we're going to switch sides. Again, make sure the back foot is down flat. You're pushing into the floor with your whole back shin. And we have a nice right angle up in front. Reach forward with those arms. And we're going to metronome into that forward leg. Boom. Just trying to see if we can work a little bit deeper into our rotation. And bring it back, reaching forward. Reach overhead with the arms, palms together, and take a big stretch into your forward leg. And bring both knees down. Taking the hand down into your quadruped. We're going to reach forward with one arm, like you're going to shake somebody's hand. And then take that arm up and above, reaching for the ceiling. Exhaling, taking that arm all the way down and through until your shoulder's on the mat. You can reach your other arm up overhead to increase the stretch. We want a big stretch in the back of the shoulder and a nice rotation. Nice deep breath. And you can slide your hand back. You're going to inhale and open all the way back up to the ceiling. Bringing that hand down. And we're going to switch sides, reaching first forward like you're going to shake somebody's hand. And then over and up to the ceiling. Finally exhaling down. Bringing that shoulder down to the ground. Reaching that hand up overhead. Big inhale, exhale. Relax. Slide that hand back and take a deep breath in as you open all the way back up to the ceiling. And bring that hand back down. You can cross your legs underneath your butt. And we're going to roll back onto our back. And start by just taking a big stretch, getting as long as you can possibly, and relaxing. And then we're going to pull both knees into our chest. You can hug your knees into your chest. And rock side to side. Whatever feels right at this moment. Go ahead, release one of your legs back down to the mat. We're going to hook underneath that knee. Lay your other arm out to the side. You're going to turn and look the opposite direction as you pull this knee across your body down to the floor. Keep both your shoulders on the floor as you do this. Bring that knee up to your chest and roll back onto your back. Let's bring the other knee in, hug both the knees into the chest and realign. Go ahead, release that other leg now. Releasing that free arm. turning and looking as you pull that other knee down to the floor, across the body. Both your shoulders on the ground. And pull that knee up to the shoulder before rolling back on your back. Pull both the knees in, give them a nice hug together. And you can take the knees in a nice big circle. Go ahead, switch your circle's direction. Take it the other way. And then finally, slide your hands down, grab your ankles for a nice happy baby. You can rock side to side, you can just hold it, you can take some kicks and straighten out your legs. And then finally, let's rock ourselves into a seated position where we can give ourselves a pat on the back for showing up on the mat today. Thanks for doing this class with me. It was great. It felt really good to me. I definitely got a lot of releases out of this one, so I guess I was just ready for that. Hopefully you learned a couple things about your body, your plantar fascia, what flexibility can do for you, and maybe helps you form a new routine to help your flexibility. So all that being said, it's very nice to spend this time with you. I will see you on Friday for dumbbell and kettlebell lift and flow. And I'll see you next week for some special edition classes, which I'm really excited to bring out. So until then, take care.